said, you can grow coffee here. Very good coffee. Ethiopia exported last year $905 million worth of coffee. She was ambassador to Ethiopia. $905 million. You can grow tea here. Sarah Linka did a $1.4 billion worth of tea export last year. What is happening in Nigeria? Everybody is dancing. That's why I said it's time to shut down dancing. Let's face reality and get this country to work. We can't continue this way. It is a country. So we are living on a land. All we do is to share. All we do here is to share the oil money. That sharing must stop. Oil is not the best. Oil has not saved Venezuela. Venezuela have 10 times more oil than Nigeria. And it's a collapsed country. In America, where people talk about oil, in America, Texas is not the richest state in America. It's not number 1. It's not number 2. It's not number 3. It's number 4. The richest state in America is California with 3.3 trillion economy, 8 times Nigerian economy. All they do is agriculture, knowledge. That is where Nigeria should be. Everywhere I go, people say, how did we get here? What happened? What is happening? Every place you go is getting better except Nigeria. So what is happening in Nigeria? What you're experiencing in this country is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. It is leadership over the years, which all of us are contributed to. No single person contributed to it. Everybody, because while the criminality and the bad governance were going on, we were celebrating. Every other country of the world resists bad governance. But in Nigeria, it's celebrated. It's only in Nigeria that you become governor, local government chairman, and people see you obviously doing what is wrong and continue to praise you and tell you, Your Excellency, you're the best thing that has happened to everybody, even when you're doing the wrong thing. It's only in Nigeria that you borrow, you don't have a house, you don't have anything, and you become governor. And suddenly you build a big house, buy all the cars with their money, even invite them for Thanksgiving with their bishop and everybody. They are singing and dancing with you when they should call police because they know you stole their money. And that is why I say you don't need to celebrate. We have a country that is going through difficulty. No country in the world will not go through what we are going today when you have over 100 million people living in poverty, the highest in anywhere in the surface of the earth. Nigeria have more people living in poverty than China and India combined. These two countries combined is 2.8 billion. We are 200 million. But we have more people living in poverty than two of them combined. Nigeria, as of yesterday, had 18.5 million children out of school, out of which 10 million are women. The list is long. Nigeria has the highest unemployment today that is known in the surface of the world. We have 35% unemployment. When combined with underemployment, it's about 55 to 60%, out of which majority, 60 to 70%, are people, young people in their productive age doing nothing. At an age that is very critical for human beings to do something, Nigerians are idle. They're not doing anything. At that particular age. Parents now pay for their children to go to school, only to come home and live with them, and they're feeding them and everything. At age, people are supposed to leave their house now. They are living in their house with their parents because they have nowhere to go to. They have no job. UK will have problem. Our drug prevalence today is 14.9%, when the global average is 5.8. So we double the global average. And most of them are young people. Everything that is wrong, stress level is worse. Everything is going wrong. And nobody is seeing it. We are celebrating it. We're not doing anything. Rather, we're dancing. We're still enjoying when the country is sinking. Somebody mentioned about borrowing. Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong in borrowing. Absolutely nothing wrong. Every country of the world borrows the money. Every country of the world borrows money. Every country. America is the biggest economy in the world. America owes almost 100% of her GDP as debt. China is the second biggest economy. It owes over 50% of her GDP as debt. Number 3 is Japan. Japan owes 230% of her GDP as debt. 230%. So as so many other countries, even Singapore that we celebrate owes 120% of the GDP. So if Singapore has 1 naira, they owe 120, 1.1 naira, 20 kobo. Norway that has the biggest sovereign wealth fund of 1.4 trillion, still owe 50% of its GDP. What is wrong in borrowing is when you borrow for consumption. If you borrow for production, it helps your economy. And because we talked about borrowing, I will show you where borrowing has worked. Several countries of the world where borrowing has worked. It hasn't worked here because you borrowed for consumption. The consequence today is that Nigeria is spending 90% of its revenue to service debt, when the average revenue you need to service debt should not be more than 25% of your revenue. But Nigeria, because you borrow for consumption, it's like a human being. If you go to bank today and borrow money in order to do and farm, do agriculture, do industry, do everything, you'll be able to pay back. But if you borrow it for burial, you will not pay back. You have a problem. If you borrow it for birthday party, you have a problem. If you borrow it for wine carrying, you have a problem. So Nigeria borrowed for picnic is for consumption. And that is why we're having problems. Serious problems. To the extent that we will not survive it. It is that bad. If you borrow it for production, it will be different. The first loan we borrowed was in 1964. When we borrowed money under Tafawa Balewa, he borrowed $82 million to build Kainji Dam to generate 760 megawatts of electricity. 1964, September 64. If you read the letter of the borrowing, he said, I'm borrowing to build this facility in order to create an economic development of my country. And the World Bank replied him and said, we are supporting you because what you are doing will go a long way in development of your country. 58 years after, Kainji Dam is still standing. The one we borrowed today, where is the Kainji Dam? Because it was borrowed for consumption. When Obasanjo left the government, his borrowing was every money we owed when Obasanjo left government was 3 trillion. Today, we are owing 58 trillion. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. A story that ordinarily I don't want to tell, but I have to tell it to you because in Calabar, Cross River State used to own. I used to be in financial industry. All my life, I'm a trader. That's what I do. I'm a trader and a finance person, and I have created wealth. All my life, I followed finance. In this state used to own a bank called Cooperative Bank. Yes. Which is closed down now. In 1990 or 1991, the biggest debtor in Cooperative Bank, who actually maybe his death brought down Cooperative Bank, was given a doctorate degree by University of Calabar. That is Nigeria. And I'll stop it there.